Hi, Lizzie here. Uh, I decided to make a following up video since I made the Silver Raven Wolf video. I told you about a bad author, so now I'll tell you about a great, fantastic author. Wicca, for Beginners, by Thea Sabin. She is fantastic. People I trust recommend her, and they love her books. Even traditional, Gardarian Wiccans that I know and a friend that I trust very much love her book. She explains things very easily. She always gives the why, and no religious bashing. Wow! So Ravenwolf, you can write a book without bashing other religions. Awesome! I didn't know that. Isn't that a surprise, Silver Ravenwolf? But yes. Oh my god, it can be accurate too. Whoa! It's so awesome! But okay, alright, I'll wait for that. It's a really good book. It gives out the fundamentals of philosophy and practice in easy to understand ways. It talks about what Wicca is, basic principles and ethics, fundamental Wiccan tools, talks about energy, visualization, grounding and shielding, trance, meditation and pathworking, circle work, the 4 elements and 4 quarters. It talks about how getting to know the Wiccan gods, talks about tools, toys, and altars, Wiccan holidays and the Wheel of the Year. It also explains like putting it together and using what you learn. It talks about magic, and then it asks or tells you to gives you suggestions and advice about where to go from after reading this book, and gives lovely book suggestions. I will quote something from her book. Yeah, it really does explain fairly well. It acknowledges the fact that Wicca is a neo-pagan religion. It takes from the old but is a new religion created in the 1950s. Gives a little bit of history. It talks about what Wicca is and what Wicca is not. Alright, I will quote something from page 3 of her book. A Wiccan is a person who follows the Wiccan religion / spiritual path and has either undergone a Wiccan initiation or has formally and ritually declared him or himself a Wiccan. Some Wiccans use the words Wiccan and witch interchangeably, but there are witches who do not consider them Wiccans. Wiccans are a subgroup of witches. Though now is not always the case. Quite a few Wiccans do not practice witchcraft, and to be considered a witch, you have to practice witchcraft. Wiccans and witches are both subgroups for a larger group, pagan. Pagans are practitioners of earth-based religions. Most Wiccans and witches consider themselves pagan, but not all pagans are witches or Wiccans. Christians sometimes call anyone who is not Christian, Muslim, or Jew a pagan, but we're not going with that definition. I wouldn't consider witches a subset of paganism, because witchcraft is not a religion, it's a practice, and many witches are non-religious. But then again, people consider atheism a part of paganism, so. Alright, and she does recognize the difference between witchcraft and Wicca. She talks about Wicca is the new old religion. That Wicca is an earth-based religion. Wicca is experimental. Wicca is a mysterious tradition. Wicca is European shamanism. Whoa. Yeah, she talks about people who think Wicca is a European shamanism. And she does talk about Wicca is a magical system. She talks about some basic Wiccan principles and ethics. Alright, I'll quote some things that she has in her chapter 2 page, or second chapter, where it talks about what Wiccans do and do not believe. Wicca is not satanic or anti-Christian. I'm actually not sure if there is a Satanism form of Wicca, so I'm not too sure. As stated in the same thing as I stated in the New Old Age section in Chapter 1, Wicca is not the same thing as a satanic witchcraft. Okay, she recognizes that satanic witchcraft exists. She is not ignoring their existence, which is great. Wiccans do not believe in Satan. Satan is a part of Christian religion, and Satanism is a Christian heresy. Contrary to Hollywood notions, Wiccans do not perform animal or human sacrifices or pervert the Catholic Mass. Wiccans do not hate Christians or try to harm their faith. See? Wiccans don't hate Christians. I mean, some obviously do, but you're not supposed to. It's just another religion. You're supposed to move on. If they hurt you, you'd be like, whatever. I'm gonna go do my thing. You're gonna do your own thing, and I'm just gonna go over here, and you go over there, and I'm gonna be bye. They do, however, wish Christians would stop knocking on the doors and leaving leaflets on their front steps in efforts to convert them. Yeah, it also talks about there's no conversions in Wicca. Wiccans don't try to convert people to Wicca. If it's right for you, you will come to it. But if you don't like it, they don't want you a part of it. Or they don't want you a part of it, because I'm no longer a Wiccan. But I still really do enjoy the information behind Wicca and studying about it. Wicca is not dualistic, which means the whole concept of black and white. There's an ultimate evil and ultimate good. Wicca does not have that in their principles. Wicca is not exclusive. There's nothing in Wicca that says you cannot practice more than one religion or worship more than one god or set of gods. A way to get power over others. Wicca is in a way to build your own power. Isn't that more important? Only about magic. Okay, here is a big one. In the part that says Wicca is not only about magic. Found. If I can. Yeah, it's really hard to see. Sorry, it's blurry. If you are exploring Wicca only so you can learn about magic, don't waste your time. It's the same thing with witchcraft. Wicca is a religion, and you don't need it to do magic. Magic exists outside of religion, just as witchcraft. Wicca provides one of the many paths to a magical practice, but magic is not its central theme. Some Wiccans don't do magic at all. So, if you're interested in magic, or witchcraft, and think that you have to be a Wiccan to do it, you don't. You're fine. And she talks about clothing. An excuse. Yeah, she really gets into details, and she breaks it down in simple to easy way to understand. Talks about the Wiccan principles. It talks about the Wiccan Read. Okay. The only thing I did not like about a few of her book is that it didn't say that the Wiccan Read was advice. Talks about will and want, threefold law, the read and the threefold law together. Talks about tools, energy. She gives helpful advice and tips about how to control and manipulate energy, because energy work is important. What else does she talk about? She talks about the difference between solitary or coven craft, Trance's meditation pathwork, ethics from Wiccan perspective, how to create meaningful and personal rituals, spell casting, including tips for your own spells, and how to find a teacher or coven you can trust. She is fantastic. I really do enjoy your book, and I always give it to someone who is curious about Wicca. It's the first book I give them, even before Scott Cunningham, because this book explains it so simply and strongly that confusion is very little. Alright, well, Thea Sabin's great. I would definitely recommend her. I give her 5 stars out of 5. So if you have any questions or comments, leave an ask on Tumblr or comment on YouTube, and I'll get to as quick as I can. And I hope everyone has a fantastic day.